Now, before you see the man himself,
Yep.
how conditioned do you think he is realistically?
Compared to what, last week?
Compared to what he should be to win.
I think that last week he was probably 7 pounds away from where he should be. So depending on what he did, between 0 and 7 pounds. I feel like I need to pull a Urs Kalisensky shoulder legs. I really like the vastus medialis. There's so many cuts in that. And it's moving and twitching. It's what judges, they see that on stage. And the audience doesn't get it. Like in a still photo, you can't see that the muscles are twitching. This is like just a different level of conditioning when you start seeing the twitches. And you're not cramping at all. Like, because if you're cramping and getting twitches, it's different. Then you have to be careful. So I usually pull water until I start cramping. Like literally, I go as far in as I can. That looks good. It's twitching around. Yeah. And so if you're not cramping, I think you can pull 3 pounds of water off of that. You see there's a shadow covering the legs, but 3 pounds of water and you'll see that the striations will go a little bit longer. Like they're kind of ending about here, but they'll end like there with a little bit less water. Oh yeah, so much better with the light. Yeah, I feel like your left hamstring is totally flexed. The right is not as flexed. Yeah. That's a great back double by. Yeah. Good striations everywhere. Yeah, your back double's a strong pose. Yeah, your glutes could come in harder. That's like what I'm saying. There's 3 more pounds of water. The glutes can come in like where you can just see like lines going through. Because you're young, you don't have saggy Coach Greg skin yet. You can get those striations in. The hamstrings are way improved from last time. Big difference. That's a good drop. It's a deep line. Like it's very deep in here. Yeah. Yep. Arms, shoulders, chest, thick. It's good. Yeah, you're holding it well. The legs is holding well there. Great core. Tight here. It looks good because you're a big guy. It's not many people have that serratus. Sorry, the oblique. Sorry. Yeah. Now, after doing that, can you bear down and get the cross-striated quads? Like, I always pose at the start, I'll do that, like, I'll show out like this, and then kind of like just bring it in at the end, or like switch, like, you know what I mean, to give the judges something else to look at. Obliques hard. Yeah, because they're dry.
God damn.
They're dry. What's the muscle we call the Dickus Maximus?
Yeah.
Remember that from a Keon Pearson? You can see the Dickus is striated. Dickus striatissimus. Yeah. And do that chest again, like the muscular. With more dry dehydration, you'll see a bigger gap in the fibers in your chest. Like trust me, the extra 1 or 2% of water weight that you have, when that's out, it's just gonna look dry. So it's just going to get the water from under the skin into the muscle with the carbs, form glycogen. Maybe a bit, if your knees bent a bit more, will it bring this hamstring up more? Like that one I find is flexed more.
Yes, for the back
You keep working on the hamstring pose.
How's it now?
Yeah, the left leg pops out more. Maybe it's your more mind muscle a bit more. When you lift your leg up, it pops right out. As soon as you lifted your right foot up, it comes out. So it's there.
Feels like I'm like.
It's almost like you have to imagine pulling your heel.
That's what I'm doing.
Ass.
I feel like I'm like trying to.
It's like.
I feel like I'm literally pulling through the floor, but it's just not hitting.
He also doesn't have a proper tan. This is like pre-tan. Good vacuum. I think that's a lot closer than I saw on stage as is there. It looks like it's 3 inches in.
You don't want to be too close, then you lose. But you don't want to do the blessing of water boot like.
Yeah. If you can always like have one leg in front and then like a different look, like one of these.
Like
do you ever practice like kind of artisty stuff, or is that not?
Yeah, I mean like they just don't
really power physique.
They don't really like that in open.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it more in classic.
It's not classic, like
Like they actually told Samson like, because he pulled like kind of the twisted one for a bit. He still does it sometimes slightly, but they kind of told him that.
Don't turn
just
it
pose
classic,
it.
just do it.
Because like you think Hottie poses straight on, Derek poses straight on. It's more about like for bodybuilding They want to see like the poses as they're
Makes
like
sense.
when Andrew had that beautiful side try when he was like here, and then he like pulled open and did one of these, and it looked like amazing. And Tyler was like,
Not
you
the
can't
pose.
pose.
It's not the proper pose there.
So
Yeah.
open, they're a lot more like those are the
Mandatories are
poses.
mandatories.
Like
Do it.
hit your mandatories like they're meant to be hit, and then you can hit like your like free posing the way you want to hit it.
Yeah, okay.
Final thoughts, Greg. What do you think? Where
I
am
think you're close. We got 3 pounds of mostly just water weight at this point to lose. And I think that diuretics is just going to dry you out. You're going to get even crispier. You're already ahead of the last time I saw you, and we're 2 days out, so it's only going to get better from here.
What's the so no fat policy between now and the show? Just get that aggression. What's that? What it is?
No high calories.
Okay, no high calories.
You have to. I'd say whatever you did for carving up, like 50%.
we're
And
gonna
whatever
do
you did for diuretics, double it.
So basically, double diuretics, half
And
carbs.
half the carbs. Because you're
Double-
already,
double
you're flat,
nut.
but you look full because you know it's just in your own head. But you don't need a crazy amount of carbs because you already have a lot of muscle.
Yeah.
You just need the striations to really poke through that little bit of water.
Well, I think the idea is maybe going a little bit of a bigger meal tonight, like a little bit heavier on the carbs in the morning through midday, and then tapering off the afternoon, so the food volume comes down. So it's almost like a front load then, because like for me, abdominal control is very important.
Yeah, you can't
So
have
like,
food in your stomach.
So like for
Sunday
me,
is like a low calorie day.
We've done it to where I'm eating my last like 200 gram carb meal at like 11:50 p.m. and like I'll wake up for like tan everything at 5 a.m. I'm like, I'm still full
Yeah.
from the night before. Like that's not good.
No,
so
you can't have that.
I'd rather be like, we're gonna have our first carb meal tonight anyway.
Yeah.
So I'd rather go a little harder tonight, maybe 1 or 2, maybe 200 or 150 gram carb meals tomorrow, and then taper off throughout the day, even if it's just like protein fats before
And so how
bed.
many carbs tonight do you think?
I mean, so the first carb meal probably 200, but I was thinking,
No, in total tonight. Total.
that's it.
Oh yeah, you can do that, no problem. That's nothing.
That's what I'm saying, it's one meal. So I was thinking, but what I said is, and I'm interested to hear your thoughts, is we were gonna do like 1 200 gram carb meal, and my thought was, what if we did like clean 200 carbs, like sushi or something, or just rice, chicken, whatever, some honey, dates, and then we had like one thing that was like pretty calorie dense, that's not, that doesn't take up a lot of volume, like a slice of cheesecake on top of that, just and then
You'd
put
be,
that through.
you'd be absorbing the carbs from the cheesecake. So
Exactly.
cheesecake to me is like half fat, half carb. And so you
Exactly.
can still carb up on that. It's
So
just
that's what I'm
then you
saying,
don't
it's
want to
like
have too
it's-
many calories. You don't want like the
that's
whole
what I'm,
cheesecake.
but then that's what I'm saying. Like one slice, what I'm saying. So
Oh,
then
yeah, you
have
can definitely have that.
And it's not about cravings. Like I don't want it.
Yeah.
I still have PTSD from last load. I swear,
Yeah.
like I don't even want to load.
Yeah.
So like I'm actually thinking, like when you hear that, you're like, oh, Eric's like already planning his like cheat. I'm like, no, like I want to get this down in as like little volume as possible, because until you've done a carb load with like 1,200 grams of carbs a day with like rice and cream of rice and rice cakes, it's like you're never hungry for your next meal. You're like, oh, I got it. And then not only are you not hungry for your next meal, then you have to eat 200 grams of carbs of like rice and like honey and rice cakes. And it's just like, you just don't want to eat anymore. And
The problem is the water in the rice can bloat you if you do it too much. You can spill over. And we
Cream
don't
of
want
rice,
that.
yeah.
You can have the rices and stuff like early on, but like
That's
within
rice cakes, yeah.
12 hours, there should be no, I call them wet carbs. Only dry carbs like the rice cakes, things like that.
yeah. Crumble, yeah. That's
Technically,
dry.
yeah,
It's
you
dry
could
carbs.
eat that kind of stuff. Like show morning, if you had
So
a
it's-
cookie, it's not going to hurt you
Well,
at that
yeah,
point.
show morning we do like usually like tiniest portion of rice, like 6 ounces, a banana, and like peanut butter. That's usually
Even the
that's-
banana, I'm like, only if you're dry.
Yeah.
Like sometimes people aren't quite as dry as they need to be, and in the morning you want to still keep the water away.
Mm-hmm.
But if you do a lot of diuretics and you wake up kind of like flat and like, oh my god, I'm overly dehydrated, you can always add bananas and stuff at that
Yeah.
point.
I mean,
You can't really screw up in that way.
yeah, that's. I think that's why diuretics can be very effective, because
It takes the
like
guesswork
it takes
out
the
of
guess,
my
yeah,
opinion.
because you can almost over diuretic, and then the morning of, like you're a little bit
Sip
like
on water,
and then
it'll
sip on
absorb.
water, and then it'll just like you'll pee it out anyway. So it's like you don't even have to stress. If you're dry and you're ready, then you can have like a banana or something like that, or a little bit of carbolin, and you're.
When you're at 4 or 5% body fat, you really can't screw up your look. It's just a matter of making it look even better than it is.
Yeah. Cool. Well, thanks for the insight, and yeah, we'll see how it's looking tomorrow, one day out.